Victor Sterling installed hidden cameras all over the property to keep an eye on the new employee. He thought she was going to deceive him and take advantage of his fortune. But what he discovered in the recordings changed his life forever. Victor Sterling was a billionaire, owner of a construction company in Chicago valued at $800 million. He had everything money could buy: a triplex penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan, imported cars, and bank accounts he would never be able to drain. But there was one thing dollars couldn't buy: trust. A year ago, he became a bitter, distrustful, and paranoid person. And he had his reasons. He had fired 5 nannies in 6 months. The first one stole gold watches. The second tried to sell pictures of his son to TMZ. The third posted the exact location of the child's daycare on TikTok, causing a security nightmare. All that was left were him and his son, Leo. Before we continue the story, subscribe to our channel. We bring to life memories and voices that never had space, but carry the wisdom of a lifetime. Leo, a 14-month-old baby who still didn't walk, barely smiled, and whom Victor, to tell the truth, didn't know how to take care of. He was great at signing skyscraper contracts, terrible at changing diapers, until the agency sent Emily. She arrived on a Monday morning. Simple, wearing a modest coat for the Chicago cold, with that smile of someone who had no malice. Or someone who was a great actress, Victor thought. "Good morning, Mr. Sterling." "Wow, what an amazing view. And this baby. Hi, big guy." Victor looked at her with suspicion. No one in Chicago was that nice without wanting something. "You're going to start with the kitchen," he ordered dryly. "Then organize the playroom. Do not touch anything in my operational base. And don't pick up the boy without my permission. Understood?" "Understood, sir," she answered, keeping her smile. Victor went to his operational base. What used to be a regular home office, he had transformed into a technological fortress. Monitors covering the walls, encrypted data servers, and direct access to police frequencies. It was from there that he commanded his empire and surveilled his own life. But he couldn't concentrate on the stock market charts. Because, for the first time in months, he heard his son laughing. He pulled up the feed from camera 4 on the main monitor. Emily was in the playroom, a huge space filled with plush toys and electric trains. She was cleaning the floor, singing, "You Are My Sunshine." And Leo, sitting on the colorful rug, was clapping and laughing. That sweet baby laugh that Victor didn't even remember anymore. Something shifted inside him. But it wasn't joy. It was fear. Why is my son getting attached to her so quickly? What interest does she have in this? That same afternoon, he called his private security team. "I want microphones and more cameras. Kitchen, baby's room, hallways, everything. I want to see and hear her every breath." "Sir, privacy laws in Illinois are strict." The technician hesitated. "It's my house, son. My decision. Install them now." During the first week, Victor watched Emily from inside his operational base like an FBI agent. He saw everything. She cleaned the house singing. She talked to Leo as if he understood life. She taught him to clap, to wave goodbye. No suspicious behavior, no theft, no hidden photos. But there was something strange. On a Thursday, while she was cleaning the operational base itself, under his supervision, she found an old family photo on the metal shelf. Victor's parents and him as a child, during a Christmas in the 90s in New York. She picked up the photo, looked at it with affection, and muttered to herself, unaware that the high-sensitivity microphone picked up everything. "You have his same look, the same kind posture." Victor froze in his chair. His who? My father? "How does she know my father?" he continued, obsessed with the recordings. And then came the bombshell. On Friday afternoon, while giving Leo a bath, she spoke softly. "Your mother was beautiful, you know, Leo, and your grandfather. Your grandfather Joseph was the most generous person I have ever met. Are you going to grow up with his heart?" She was talking about Joseph Sterling, Victor's father. At that moment, Victor took advantage of her taking the trash out and rummaged through her bag. He was looking for documents, an ID, any clue, and he found, at the bottom of an inner pocket, an old silver locket. When he opened it, he almost fell back. Inside was a photo of his father, hugging a woman he didn't know. Who is this woman? And why the hell does Emily have a photo of my father? It was on a Tuesday. Victor was at the operational base, pretending to work, but actually watching the cameras in the playroom. Emily stood Leo up, holding his little hands. "Come on, champ, you can do it!" Let go of Aunt Emily's hand and come. She took 2 steps back, crouched down, and opened her arms. And Leo, Victor's son, took 5 staggering steps, 5 steps until he fell into her arms, laughing. Emily hugged him, crying with joy. "You did it! You did it, my love! I'm so proud!" Victor, alone surrounded by cold monitors, cried too. But it wasn't just pride, it was pain. Because his son's first steps were for her, not for him. Why did his son smile more at the nanny than at his own father? That night, he decided to confront her. After Leo went to sleep, Victor called Emily to the operational base. The environment was intimidating, with blinking LED lights and screens showing every corner of the house. "Sit down," he said. She sat, her smile fading when she saw his serious face. "Emily, I'll be direct. Who are you?" "What do you mean, Mr. Sterling?" "You talk about my father as if you knew him. You have a locket with his photo. And you talk to my son about his mother, about his grandfather, as if you were part of this family. So I'll ask again. Who are you?" She turned pale. "Did you go through my things? It's my house. And the cameras? I recorded every word you said." She took a deep breath, her eyes watering. "I didn't come here to deceive you, Victor." It was the first time she called him by his name. "Then why did you come?" She stood up, walked to the bulletproof window looking out at the Chicago lights. "Because I made a promise, and I'm not the type who breaks promises. My mother's name was Sarah Jenkins." Victor frowned. The name sounded familiar. "She worked for your family in New York for 5 years as a housekeeper when I was a child." Victor vaguely remembered. A short, quiet woman who kept the house spotless. "My father had died in the Gulf War. My mother was alone with 3 children in the Bronx. No money, no support. Getting the job at the Sterling house was our salvation." Emily wiped her tears. "Your father, Joseph, was different from all the Wall Street bosses. He asked if we had eaten lunch. He paid for my brother's education. At Christmas, he gave us real gifts, not leftovers." Victor swallowed hard. His father was exactly like that. "One day my mother got sick, a severe heart problem. The public health system wouldn't cover the surgery she needed. Your father not only paid for the best private hospital in Manhattan, but he also ensured she was operated on by the chief of surgery. He saved her life, Victor." She took the locket from her neck and handed it to him. He gave this to her before the surgery. He said, "Sarah, you will survive. And when you do, I want you to remember that there are still good people in the world." Inside is the photo of him with my mother on the last day she worked there. Victor opened the locket again. Now it made sense. My mother kept this until she died, 3 years ago. She made me promise that if one day I could, I would repay his kindness in some way. "But my father also passed away," Victor said, his voice cracking, 4 years ago. "I know. That's why I couldn't repay him directly." She turned to him. "Then a year ago, I was working as a nursing assistant at Northwestern Memorial Hospital here in Chicago, and your wife, Susan, was admitted to the ER." Victor's heart raced. His late wife's name echoed in the cold room. "Complications during childbirth. I was one of the nurses on duty. She was in bad shape, Victor. Severe hemorrhage. Before being taken to emergency surgery, she squeezed my hand tight and said, 'If I don't come back, someone has to take care of my baby. Please.'" Emily was crying now. "I checked her file. I saw the surname Sterling. I asked if she was related to Joseph Sterling. She said yes, that she was married to his son. In that moment, I understood. It was a sign. I promised her I would take care of the baby. But she didn't survive," Victor whispered. "No, she passed away on the operating table." Silence filled the room. Only the hum of the servers could be heard. I spent months thinking if I should look for you. I was afraid you would think I was crazy, a gold digger after the sterling money. Until I lost my job at the hospital. I saw the job ad here. I recognized the address, and I thought, it's now or never. She wiped her face. I didn't come to deceive you. I came to keep two promises, the one I made to my mother, to repay your father's kindness, and the one I made to Susan, to take care of Leo. Victor remained silent for a full minute. Then he stood up, walked to the biometric safe on the wall of the operational base, and took out an old wooden box. Inside were letters from his father. He searched and found a yellowed envelope, written 6 months before Joseph died. Victor, if you are reading this, it's because I am no longer there. I want you to know that I left a help fund guaranteed for Sarah Jenkins's family, our old housekeeper. She is a woman of honor. If one day her children need anything, help them. It is the least we can do for those who are loyal. He showed the letter to Emily. She read it and broke down in tears. I'm an idiot, Victor said. You came here to honor promises, and I treated you like a criminal. I installed cameras, searched your things. I distrusted your every step. Forgive me. She shook her head. You were only protecting your son. There is nothing to forgive. The next day, Victor ordered all the internal cameras to be torn down. He called Emily back to the operational base. I want to honor my father's promise. And more than that, I want you to stay here, not as an employee, as part of the family. Leo needs you, and I need help too. Victor, I don't know what to say. I'll double your salary. You'll have a better room, full health insurance, a corporate card for whatever Leo needs. But most importantly, you will be Aunt Emily, the person he can always count on. She laughed through her tears. I accept. 6 months later, the Sterling penthouse in Chicago is different today. There is laughter, there is music, there is life. Victor reduced his hours at the construction company. He learned to play with toy cars on the playroom rug, to make airplane noises with food in the kitchen, to give a bath without flooding the entire bathroom. Leo is almost 2 years old now. He runs around the house shouting, Auntie Emmy! And she is still there, not just cleaning the floor, but being the best aunt a child could have. The silver locket is now framed in the living room, next to the photo of Joseph, Sarah, Susan, and all the history that connected these families between New York and Chicago. A proof that trust cannot be bought with dollars. Kindness is not forgotten. And promises, when made from the heart, span generations. Victor learned that being a billionaire means nothing if you don't have anyone to trust, and that sometimes the most valuable people in our lives end up disguised as employees, carrying lockets and fulfilled promises.